It's TMNT time! Damn, I'm saying that a lot these days. Today we're gonna have a look at the Neca SDCC 2019 exclusive, the capture of Splinter TMNT movie 4-pack, titles, long, and shoutouts to the post office for delivering me this like that. I'm so happy to buy a Neca exclusive from SDCC for a lot of money from eBay and then get this. So thankfully, this is the box, what's left of it. Thankfully I looked inside, well, you have like a window box. I looked at the figures. Seems to be alright, but yeah, the box is wrecked. So much for a collector's item. Yeah, I'm gonna have a word with the post office. I'm gonna send this to the guy on eBay who sent this to me, and I hope he also has a word with the post office because this is garbage. But anyway, here's the figures. As I said, they all still look intact. I'm really hoping this guy doesn't fall apart when taking him out of the box. Well, yeah, real lucky that it's bent over here and not over there. But regardless of that, screw the post office. Let's have a look. So this being a 4-pack, which is thankfully intact, I'm gonna work my way through this. Gonna just give you a look. This is the whole bunch, the whole Brady bunch, but we're gonna have a look at the foot soldiers first, and then I'm gonna work my way up. From there, they stand at about 17.5 centimeters to the top of their coconut. That means a little shy of 7 inches, well, 6.9. About that size. Now, overall look in detail, those are the exact same as the Giant Foot Soldier review coming soon. Yes, I reviewed that one already, but since these guys arrived, I had to give a little bit of favoritism to the SDCC stuff, because that's exclusive. The face sculpt is very nicely done. It's really the weird Foot Soldier look that they did in the movie. I mean, I still kind of like it, but yeah, how do you even talk? It has a little bit of an SM vibe, doesn't it? We got the bandana in the back, nicely painted. It has a little bit of black wash in it. Yeah, a little bit of black spots to give it a little bit of better look, more accentuated. You have the mold, the entire nicely molded gi with all the texturing in there and weird color spots, which, well, it isn't really that weird. I guess they kind of try to go around the muscles. Here it goes a little bit awry, but for the rest of it, it looks really good. More wrinkles in the back, and really like where there's a wrinkle there, it goes a little bit darker. So really good paint job with the shading. You got the armor parts in the shoulder. Let me move that up if it goes. Joints for Neca figures are always kind of stiff at the beginning. I need to heat this up before I do the articulation part. But yeah, got all the detail in there. This is soft plastic. This is not connected anywhere, so you can rotate it around. The one on the fist is, though. As we move down to the belt piece, you have like a stretchy cloth material in there, which does stand out a little bit, unfortunately, because it's not dark enough around the belt. But they did that because you can kind of store a little knife in there. That's really what it is for. And if it really bothers you, you can take it off. It's really tightly on there, but as I'm saying, it's stretchy. There you go, you can stretch it a little bit. I don't want to stretch it too much and break it. But you can stretch it, so you can pull it down, and it is completely molded on there, so that's not an issue at all. This is soft plastic, the knees, and the taped feet. All looks pretty good overall. With more wrinkles, kind of like a little bit more flappy in the pants for movement, for your ninja movement, that doesn't get hindered by your pants. So moving on to Shredder, I already reviewed the giant version of this guy, check it out, but yeah, this one's pretty much the same. Size-wise, he stands at almost 18.5 centimeters to the top of his head, so he is a little bit taller than the Foot Soldiers, which is mostly due to the helmet though. 7.2, 7.3, a little bit about that size, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just gonna show you real quick, it is pretty much the same size, he just gained some of it due to the helmet, and yes, this is the exact same mold all throughout it. Obviously, Shredder has spikes, the Foot Soldier doesn't, but yeah, everything is on the exact same spot, which is not a knock, but what I'm saying is you can change the design for the Shredder, because they had the same design in the movie, at least for the gi. But yeah, anyway, look at the helmet, it looks very nice. has some metallic going on, and really a lot of texturing on the metal. There's like all kinds of small kinks and whatnot. Makes it look very unclean, and that's on purpose, and I like that. I appreciate that. Kind of got the mesh going on in the front of his helmet and all around the cowl, which is soft plastic on this one. It's a little bit, probably too soft for its own good. I have a big dent on this side, and on this side it kind of just wraps around the face all the time, so that's pretty annoying, but I just gotta heat that up later and hope I can get it into the shape I want to. Also, you can take the mask off just like with the giant shredder, if I could do that right now. Slide it down, and yes, the face still looks amazing, well done. He looks amazingly beat up, and the paint job on the nose is still amazingly bad. How does that happen again? I don't know. What do you got with noses? But yeah, for the rest of it, the face sculpt looks amazing. Kudos that they even captured all the detail in there, even in the smaller version. Like with the big version, you know, was already impressive, but to shrink that down and still keep it as accurate as this is quite amazing. So then you got the neck piece over here, which is floaty. I didn't really touch on that with the big shredder, I think. But yeah, for the rest of the mold, you got the gold, kind of like the gold sprinkles all throughout in the figure, which is accurate. And then you got the red and a little bit of purplish on the wrinkles on this one. Spikes on the side, they look pretty dirty, and some of them look a little bit more rough. I mean, these ones look really darker than the ones on the front. He has the big claw on the fist, and more on the side over here. Everything is pretty nicely painted, looking at the bolts especially. Those are very, very small. And then we go down to the belt. Like I said, it does not stand out as much as it does for the foot soldiers, because he has a darker belt. So that's alright. And we move down to the feet, more spikes on the legs, and really just same thing, but with spikes and a helmet and a botched nose. And finally, the newest edition, Master Splinter, which, first of all, somebody really did not care about making the belt. And I get really iffy about these things if we're looking at an exclusive. You're only doing a couple thousand of these, and you can't do the belt right. I know, I'm just gonna do it myself later, but just, again, if this was a retail release, I wouldn't be bothered by that, but since this is exclusive, only a couple to get, you should really tie your belts right. Have a look at the max size, stands at 15 centimeters to the top of his hat, so that's not really that much of a change. But yeah, anyway, 5.7 inches tall, and I have a bunch of black spots over here because Neca paints their joints, which is alright, but as you move the joints around, the paint flakes off. But anyway, looking at the face sculpt, it kind of has a little bit of issues with the eyes. It's not too bad, but still, this one's kind of squidged, and this one's just has some white around it. He has the one ear that's been cut off by Orokosaki, bastard, animal abuse, call PETA, don't call PETA. And paint job on it. Have some, I don't know if this is supposed to be dirt or the ear hole. That's kind of weird, it's kind of random. For the rest of it, the paint job is actually very nice. I love the strings that go down to make it a lot brighter on the lower half on his face, and also for the eyebrows. I mean, he doesn't really have eyebrows because he's a rat, but still, looks good. And the entire outfit is made out of cloth, has some dirt on it. It feels really dirty though. It's just like, I don't know, it's probably spray painted with something. So it also smells, doesn't smell so good, but it's a rat, so what do you expect? Has some holes in it, really makes it look nice and beat up and accurate. So I'm actually a big fan of this mode. I wonder if they're gonna do a giant version of this. So move down, just let me look under there a little bit. Ooh, it's just a rat. Why do you want to look at rat tail? There's rat tail, there you go. Got the rat tail and the feet, which are all really dirty. And it looks almost disgusting, but yeah, again, he's a rat who lives in the sewers, so I appreciate that they're making this really, really ugly looking, really rugged. So for the articulation for the foot soldier and shredder, because he has the exact same mold as we established, the head is on the ball joint, you can rotate that around, goes side to side, and goes all the way around. Also the neck articulation, this one's a little bit more stiff as usual, and I heated him up before this. Well, we get to something that just didn't wanna move. Then you got his bandana, also just packed in. You can rotate that around. And by the way, somebody kind of stopped doing his job over there because there's a gap in it. Didn't even see that. Does the other one also have that? Yeah, they also have that. On an exclusive. Alright, but there seems to be another hole, but the bandana hole is round and a lot bigger, so I don't really know what that's all about. Then you got a hinge for your shoulder. Goes up almost 45 degrees. I think it was better on the bigger one. Also has a little bit of wiggle room in there. Goes all the way around. And then double hinged elbow. Goes up very nicely. Can rotate it at the elbow. And the fist is on a simple hinge. Does go forward. Does go to the back. Rotates around. Nothing really at the torso. Can rotate the crotch piece a little bit, which is also soft plastic, so bam, does not get into the way of your leg articulation. Goes out nicely. Doesn't really go to the back because of the butt. And then now also actually rotates. Does it rotate? No, it doesn't really rotate. I try to get it. It should rotate at the big part over there. I can't really get it. Also, lower torso rotates. Almost forgot about that. But yeah, double hinge knee. It should be a double hinge knee, but I cannot get this hinge to move. I tried. I heat it up, and as you can tell, this one's already really loose because of that. Goes back and forth. Also has a little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, lower part. Let me try that. You know, I'm pushing pretty hard, and this is all I'm getting. And I do not want to break it, but this is stupid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, it looks like it also doesn't have any room to rotate out. It's just like so stiff in there. And I cannot get it. So I'm gonna say screw it. This joint is not there. If it's not wanna work, like this is all I'm getting out of it. Just like a little bit forward. And I'm so scared of breaking it. So I'm not, no. You get an L for that, Neca. And the foot is on a hinge, packed in, rotates around, goes forward, goes back pretty nicely. And then we got Splinter, who's even more problematic, but I'll tell you why in a second. The head joint, head moves forward, has a little bit of wiggle motion, goes all the way around, and then you got the entire neck part, this part, which moves up and down, so giving you pretty nice range, except for downwards, really blocked because of the head sculpt. Also the head rotates all the way around, straight up exorcism. Now, let's see, you got another joint in the torso area, and that's the problematic part. You got this one, goes back forward, has rotation in it, but I cannot see, and that's really an issue with the shoulder joints. I do not know, there's a hinge in there, but I do not know where the hinge is really. And as with all of them, it's pretty stiff and I don't want to break it, but yeah, I'm guessing that's as much as you get. Also rotates around, but then the cloth gets in the way. That's kind of the problematic part of putting the cloth. I think they made it a little bit too tight. It looks good, but the articulation is kind of sort of a little bit limited because of that. Then we got a simple hinge in the shoulder, also rotates around, and another hinge for your hand articulation, back, forth, quite a bit, and goes all the way around. The hands also look really nice. Didn't even have a look at that. Soft plastic, tons of detail in it, and it's brighter at the lower part. Also looks pretty beat up. Just like everything, Splinter just looks beat up, but yeah, I mean, have you seen the movie? He looks beat up. And not like in the third one, where he looks like roadkill, but that's not by design. That was because the model was crap. Okay, leg moves forward, leg goes to the back, not really much, and the leg also don't. There you go. I think that's about as much as it goes out. Has some rotation in there, and we got a simple hinge in the knee. Has a little bit of wriggle motion, and then the foot. Let me see that. This looks kind of weird. The bandage in the back, kind of tucked on there. But anyway, you got a hinge over here which you can rotate around, and another hinge at the front part, like a toe hinge, which you cannot rotate around. It does go back and forth though, and the tail is not articulated, but it is made out of soft material. It was completely straight when I got him out of the box, and I already made it that it is a little bit curled, and it will kind of bend to your will over time if you just give it a little bit of time, so yeah. So yeah, accessories, you're seeing this correctly, all the stuff is included. First and foremost, we got the small box where Splinter is standing on, has a nice little Neca kind of date on it. It is just made out of paper. Couldn't they have done plastic? I mean, wood would have been amazing, but just at least plastic. No, just this. Okay. Well, I don't care about that. Anyway, you got the shredder cape, just like with the big shredder. You got that, and it does still have its hook. Okay, you can still hook that around your shredder. Nicely segmented, as it was in the movie. Kudos for them to getting the job done on that. And then you got the chains, which are to chain Splinter. Those were on the box. I took them off. You got some real chain and some really nice paint job on the metal parts, which you have a hinge, so you just pull this apart and you can chain up your shredder, your Splinter. Oh, I mean, you can chain up your shredder if you want to. I don't know if it fits around his arms though. You gotta work around that. I feel like this is really frail. I'm actually afraid of this, so I'm gonna put that on the side, not break it off. Then we got hands for your foot soldiers. You got 2 open hands and 2 holding hands. And you know, that's really it. You gotta juggle those with the foot soldiers. They only get these pairs, and then you got the shredder has the open hands. Has basically the same thing, open hands and holding hands. And then you got an extra bandana. Is that any different from the bandana that's already on there? Yeah, it's a little bit thicker, I guess. So you can use that one if you want to. You got a little knife. That's really for putting in the belt. You know, you got the stretchy part of the belt. Can slide that in there. But once again, you only have one. So only one guy gets a sneaky knife. And then you got all this stuff. Yes, you do get this nice weapons rack with all the weapons on it. You got a regular plastic bow staff in the black. You got this giant axe, which is very nice painted. Also has some dirt effect on it, some black wash. I dig it. You got this weird spiky staff, which Shredder used in the movie. And then you got a sword, which, oh, there it goes. Sword. Black handle, nice metallic. In the blade, got size, you got everything. It's just like, you got the entire turtle arsenal at your disposal, and then some. You got a simple tonfa, has some detail in it, and then you got one, and then you got nunchucks, one with the chain and the small bolts in the handle. And then just a black one with plastic in the middle. Not even rope. Boo. And then you got the rack, which is really cool. I like that. Stuff where I can actually store the weapons. So I can display the weapons and not just have to lie around there and be like, ah, look at all these accessories. No, I can actually put it on there. Appreciate it. But like, you might be wondering the same thing that I've been wondering. What about your Splinter accessories? You don't get any. No hands, no staff, no nothing. Just the chains, I guess. That's for Splinter. Ow. Well, the capture of Splinter has been cancelled. By the way, it should also be noted in the remains of my box, what's left of it. You have this background, which is completely folded up now. Thank you, Post Office, once again. With, you know, if you want to complete the diorama, and then I knock them over. I ruined it! No! So that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts of the amazing box set. Was it worth the 250 bucks I paid on eBay? No, not really. But they sold it for 125 at SDCC. So is it worth that much? Hell yeah. I mean, there's some slips here and there. There's some issues. There's lack of accessories for Splinter. But overall, the figures look amazing. This is still as movie accurate as it gets. And you still get a lot of accessories, even though you don't get the ones for Splinter. You get the amazing weapon rack. You get 2 foot soldiers, which is nice, and the movie shredder, which is just so accurate and so good looking. And I love it. So yeah, overall, I still do recommend this one. They're probably gonna hit retail I just wanted to have it because I'm a big TMNT fan. I'm just a sucker for that. So I'm not even going to complain about the exclusivity this year. Yeah, Neca has really been rolling out a lot of TMNT figures recently, so I'm thinking these guys are coming out as well. So if they do, go ahead and pick them up because I think they're great. Recommended. So that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Splinter and the Foot Soldiers and Shredder want.